49 pit bulls have been handed over to the SPCA in Bloemfontein. 35 were handed over on Monday, while the rest were surrendered today. Now, this follows the death of 8-year-old Olebogeng Mosime over the weekend. The boy was mauled to death by a neighbour's pit bull at his home at Vista Park in Bloemfontein. The boy was attacked while playing alone and was bitten on the neck and the chest. SPCA spokesperson Reinet Meyer says more people are surrendering their pit bulls as they deem them dangerous. On Sunday, the Deputy Executive Mayor of Mangaung municipality, Mapaseka Mothibi Nkoane, called for the tightening of bylaws regarding the ownership of pit bulls. And just to remind you, as our viewers, we're also currently running a Twitter poll where we are asking the question, should pit bulls be totally banned as domestic pets? So please vote at SA_SABC. All right, now let's discuss this. We are now joined via Zoom by Inspector Keshvi Nair, and she's a Public Relations Officer, National Council of SPCA. Thank you so much, Keshvi, for your time this afternoon. Now, I mean, as we've just talked about, 49 owners, coming to the SPCA in the Free State to essentially, say, you have to take ownership of my dog. Just talk to us about just that process. What happens, when you receive these dogs as the SPCA, and what are the owners saying? Are they, in fact, confirming that their dogs are dangerous and they can't take care of them?
Good afternoon, Unati. Thank you so much for having us. So the SPCA movement is the largest animal welfare organization in South Africa. The surrendering of unwanted, sick, injured, stray animals is something that we deal with on a daily basis. It's something that our SPCAs across the country deal with on a daily basis. And the surrender of large numbers of animals in one go is not something new to us either. It's with dogs, it's with cats, it's with farm animals. We see it on a daily basis. And what happens when an animal is surrendered is that each animal is given an equal opportunity. What we do is we ensure that each animal is assessed by a qualified professional, and a decision is made in the best interest of each individual animal after certain factors have been taken into consideration. And when it comes to the owner surrendering the animal, the SPCA is not there to judge anyone for why they can no longer look after their animals, why they don't want to keep their animals. Our doors are open to accept, to admit any animal at any hour of the day, any day of the year. That is our job. We're there to protect the animals. We're there to ensure that they don't suffer worse fates than being surrendered to the SPCA. And I think in this circumstance, Unati, given why those pit bulls were surrendered, it's just another clear example. And I want to be clear on this. We're not saying the SPCA will never turn away an animal ever at any point, but it's another clear indication that the SPCA is now left to clean up the mess, to deal with the disaster, to deal with the repercussions of bad decisions made by other people. And the SPCA is not government funded. We're not going to receive lots of funding next year either. So this is all done on limited resources. And it's just to come back to the point, we're now once again left with having to clean up the mess of other people who've made reckless and irresponsible decisions that affect animals, that affect people.
Now, given these calls by mainly residents who, particularly those that don't own these dogs, who are living in fear in their, community, saying that these dogs need to be banned. So ultimately, the question then is, who's responsible when a dog attacks?
There's a number of elements involved in this, but ultimately, the owner must be held accountable for their animal attacking someone, and this is in accordance to the Animal Matters Amendment Act number 42 of 1993. That act holds owners accountable, and you're exactly right. People deserve to feel safe. They deserve to be able to walk the streets freely. They deserve to play in their own properties and feel safe and be free to do that. And the only way, or one of the only ways that we're going to get around this, is for owners to be held accountable when these attacks occur. Often people think that, okay, an attack has occurred, the dog has been euthanized, so the problem is solved. No, absolutely not. Yes, you may have gotten rid of the dangerous animal, but what stops the owner from tomorrow going and acquiring another animal that's going to turn out dangerous, to be aggressive and vicious because of the way that they keep it, because of not knowing how to look after the animal, because of not knowing the breed. So I think ultimately the person that needs to be held accountable when an attack has occurred is the owner of the animal.
Keshvi, I don't know if you can perhaps help us with this, but what are the laws with regards to dog ownership in this country, particularly if you recall the Deputy Executive Mayor of Mangaung municipality calling for the tightening of bylaws regarding the ownership and in fact she's saying of pit bulls.
So this is a very, very broad issue, and I'll tell you what, Unathi, we actually met with the deputy mayor this morning. It was our representatives in the Bloemfontein SPCA that met with her earlier this morning, and we discussed further strengthening the regulations that are currently in place. So as it stands, when it comes to looking after animals and how animals should be kept, each municipality is responsible for enforcing their bylaws. And those bylaws speak specifically to the keeping of pets. It speaks specifically to ensuring that dogs are kept within the confines of their owner's property, dealing with aggressive animals, dealing with animals that are on heat, dealing with animals that make excessive or bark or make excessive noise. That is the municipality's mandate. They are there to enforce those bylaws. And so when the mayor said that, going forward, she intends on ensuring that these bylaws are enforced. I mean, we can only welcome that. We can only be grateful for that. And in the discussions that we had with her earlier today, we spoke about further strengthening those regulations in terms of ensuring that sterilization is made compulsory, and it must be at the owner's expense, obviously, and by ensuring that there are permits for people who want to keep dangerous and aggressive animals. So as it stands, I think the municipality is going to enforce the laws that they already have, and they are going to look at strengthening the bylaws that are currently in place. It starts with Bloemfontein, and hopefully it's something that will move across South Africa.
Keshvi, thank you so much for your time this afternoon. We really do appreciate it. Of course, Keshvi Nair is the Public Relations Officer for the National Council of the SPCA.